Hello YouTube. So we're in the living room. Hopefully the lighting's a lot better. I got the windows open for some natural lighting. Got all my lights on. They are warmer house lights. They're not brighter LED lights, but we're gonna make do. Today I want to talk about Statefarm Drive Safe and Save and Progressive. They call it Snapshot. These are their driver tracking systems. I've used both. I've used State Farms for about a year and a half, and I've used Progressives for a couple months when I switched over to them because State Farm was scheming and pulling some shit. So I'm gonna just go over the pros and cons of both of them in terms of installation and who they're best for. I'm gonna make another video on Progressive because I kind of figured out how to get a higher score with Progressive. Especially since I saw a lot more complaints with the Snapshot on driving stuff. But anyway, first off, State Farm. So when you enroll in State Farm, they give you the option to sign up for Drive Safe and Save. They send you these little square cubes you stick in your car on the windshield, right by the rear view mirror. And you pair it with your phone through Bluetooth and through the app, and it will know every time you get in your phone, or every time you get in your car, it'll connect to your phone through Bluetooth, and it'll track your driving. Things that this one tracks is phone usage, so it can tell from the G sensors and accelerometers and stuff in your phone if you're touching your phone. It can track cornering, they call it sharp cornering, hard accelerations, hard braking. I think those are the four things that it tracks. So I had it. It'll track you for, I don't know exactly how long. It's always tracking you, by the way, but it'll track you for God knows how long. And it'll readjust your savings. So you initially get a discount when you sign up for it, and then if you drive good, you get either a chunky discount or basically nothing. For the Ultima, the first period where it tracked I was driving, I got $26 off of 6 months. Which my bill is only like $90 a month. So percentage wise, it wasn't like I was getting $200 a month insurance and getting like 0.5% or something. But the Scion, that car, and I don't know how, that one saved $60 a month. The Ultima was $27 in 6 months. The Scion ended up going from like $130 to like $70. So the Scion, it helped out a lot. The Ultima, it didn't help out much. Right before I switched to Progressive, I was actually only offered $4.55 off for 6 months, which was kind of abysmal, but it's whatever. With this one, I had trouble. Accelerating was fine. Sharp cornering was okay. I always averaged about a 68 to 75%. And with this one, they will not raise your rates. State Farm does not raise your rates if you drive like an idiot. Yeah, and it dinged me for phone use. And that was just like me picking up my phone or me plugging my phone in. I even used Apple CarPlay in my car, so I didn't touch my phone that much. But it still like always dinged me for phone use. It will show you where you're driving and how long you're driving for and stuff like that, and all the little trips you're taking. And it always showed me like hard acceleration or just in the random times hard braking like on a highway. I'm just like, you know what I mean? I might be braking a little harder because somebody's merging, they're merging like an idiot. You know what I mean? But I always average between a 68 and a 70%. Then I switched over to Progressive because Progressive gave me a better rate than State Farm overall. Progressive also has their own program. They initially give you a discount. And Progressive actually has two ways of doing it. One way is they give you these little dongles for each of your cars that you plug into your car, right? They give these little dongles, one for each car, so I have two, one for each of my cars. Or they give you an app to use. So kind of like State Farm, except there's no dongle. The better version, or the reason why I like them, or State Farm giving me this little dongle thing, is because if State Farm will only track driving when it's connected to this Bluetooth device, right? So say I have it in two of my cars and I jump into my buddy's car, right? And he's driving. With Progressive, if I have the app, I have to go into the app and put down that I'm not a driver. Always. Because it doesn't know, because there's no little sensor in the car to know which car I'm in. It has no idea which car I'm in, it just knows I'm in a car. I drive for work. I drive sussly for work. That's the best way to put it. So accelerating hard, braking hard for my job. And they told me right away, hey, if you're driving for work, you want the little OBD2 thing so that it knows which car you're in versus it just tracking all your cars. But as you can see, I didn't plug these in. I've actually been using the app instead. I'll tell you why in a little bit. If I'm riding my motorcycle, for example, the app will actually probably destroy me because it'll think I'm driving hard, accelerating hard, and braking hard because it can track that I'm moving and it can track all the jolts and stuff in my backpack or from my phone mount. So it'll probably think I'm using my phone, I'm accelerating hard, I'm braking hard, I'm cornering hard, but I'm not really doing it. I'm riding my motorcycle. And they warned me about that when I signed up. That's what they really pushed me getting the dongle. The Drive or the Snapshot app tracks phone usage, hard braking, hard accelerating, and time that you're driving. If you're driving like in the middle of the night or something like that, there's a set period of time where Statefarm or Progressive doesn't like when you're driving because it's more dangerous on the road. Also, the big thing with Progressive one is it can raise your rates. They said if you drive more than what they think or they expected you to drive, because I put down I drive like the average person 10 to 12,000 miles, but I drive more than that. It's hit or miss, but I know I drive more than that, especially for work. They track those things on the phone. With this, they track hard braking, hard accelerating. They don't track phone usage because they don't know if you're using your phone or not, because you don't even have to have the app if you use this instead. And the better reason to use this is because it only, like this, will know when you're inside your own car. So if I jump in my buddy's car and he doesn't have one, like he doesn't have my system, my OBD2 dongles, it won't track it. I don't have to worry about tracking on my motorcycle. Only my personal cars. So that's the reason why they kind of pushed me to get these little dongles. But you can see these dongles aren't plugged in. I still have them. I actually have to mail them back because I chose not to use them. The reason why I chose not to use them is because I found a workaround to get a higher score. I'll make another video on that, to how to maximize your savings. But I preferred the app for what it can offer me. And with the app right now, they don't go by a percentage. They go by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. I think under 2 stars, they like start charging you a higher rate. I'm at 5 stars right now. And I read online, I was going on Reddit when I was first looking into this, and people are all saying like, oh, it's dinging me for hard braking. And people were even doing the math on how hard you should brake or not brake and how sensitive the app is, or the dongles are, but I don't have a problem with it. I'm at 5 stars right now. I do drive most of the time athletically or like an idiot, or I'm on my motorcycle, or I switch cars, or I'm flipping or jumping between car to car to car to car to car, and I just overall prefer the app. With the app and with Progressive, I saved, I think it's around 31% off my bill. So it's a pretty solid savings versus what I was getting with Statefarm. Which one do I like more? Personally, for me, I like the Progressive only because it's easier for me to get a higher score. I do like that Statefarm gives you these little dongles when you use the app, so it only works with your car, so you don't have to worry about like jumping in a buddy's car and putting down that you're not the driver, or jumping on your motorcycle and getting tracked for that, because that's kind of just like a pain and a hassle, right? You want to you're using this to get the best score you can, right? To get the best savings you can. And let's be honest, insurance is on a nickel and dime to do everything. So if you have the opportunity to use these, I would say use them. If you have the Progressive one, use it. If you have the State Farm one, use it. If you have the Progressive one, use it. Be cautious. You don't have to drive. If you're driving a BMW, basically, if you're one of those guys driving a BMW or a Camaro or something like that, and you know you're going to drive hard and drive quick and accelerate hard and stuff like that, State Farm will have the better option for you because they won't raise your rates. Progressive will. If you drive like a normal person, and you like just, you know, use your car, just chill, whatever it may be, I think Progressive will be the better option because they've been a lot less sensitive to my driving habits. Again, I saw a lot of complaints, a lot of people complaining, saying they're getting hard braking, hard accelerating, and again, I drive between the Altima, the Scion, the Jeep. You know, I think one time I got 8 hard brakings in one driving session, and I knew I was in a rush to get somewhere, and it was like a 100-mile journey. Also, State Farm or Progressive does track how much you drive, which can also affect this. So it actually shows in the app how many miles you drove in that period. Progressives, I'm still trying to figure it out because they told me that when I signed up that it's a 45-day driving period where they calculate your score, and once they calculate your score, that's your lifetime score. If you think you can get a higher score, you can try it again, or you can just leave and continue to get that score. When I looked on my policy, it shows that I'm enrolled in the ongoing like test, whatever. So basically, if you do the 45, from what I understand, if you do the 45-day, which I thought was the only option, you have to wait until your next billing cycle. So say you sign up and they give you 10% off initially, they'll track your driving and they say, hey, you saved like 25%. You have to wait till your next billing cycle. So for me, I pay a 6-month chunk. So in 6 months from when I initially signed up and did the driving, when they recalculate my numbers, then they'll factor in whatever that 25-30% is. Initially, I'll stick with that 10% for the first 6 months. With the ongoing testing, from what I understand, from what I've read, after the testing period is over, the initial 45-day testing period, they'll give you that discount right away. They'll give you that 25-30% discount right away, and that'll hold on your bill. And then, but you got to keep driving with the app to keep continuing getting those discounts. I'm gonna call and see if they can switch me over to the 45-day because I'm already getting a solid score. I don't think it's gonna I'm gonna learn over time to get better score. I'm already getting 5 stars, so I'm fine with it. So I would, personally for me, Progressive is the way to go for my driving. I don't use the dongles. I'm gonna return the dongles. I actually only kept them so I can make the video. I'm gonna use the app. And yeah, I'm getting 5 stars. So if you're driving like a normal person and you're just worried about random hard braking here or there, but you're normally a normal driver, I would say Progressive is the way to go. Snapshot, if you are trying to get a discount, but you also drive like kind of hard, kind of fast or whatever, I do think State Farm is the better option because they won't raise your rates if you get a bad score. At minimum, you'll just get the base discount they gave you when you first signed up for the program. Again, I went down to like $4.55 for getting a 68%, right? And this is a little bit more sensitive to my driving. So if you're gonna drive like an idiot anyway, might as well. But yeah, those are the differences between the State Farm and the Progressive Drive Safe. This could be the difference between you going through State Farm or going through Progressive based on how close their rates are without these. And once you add these on, they'll give you a new rate. Right now with Progressive and with this thing plugged in, I am about $30 to $40 a month cheaper than State Farm was. With the same coverage, I got a little bit more in terms of like trip interruption, and I got like $60 a day for a rental car instead of like $30 a day for a rental car, and some other small things like that. But the big coverages are the same with Progressive, so they did save me a little bit more money. I do think State Farm though has the better customer service. I give them way better customer service than I give them. I've never had an issue with them. I have a local agent. They're all great. I call in online to I call in to the regular customer service to file a claim at 2 in the morning, like the Jake from Statefarm commercial. I can do that. Progressive, they're just weird. When I first signed up with the policy, it sounded like it was a girl at her house with dogs barking in the background. She got half the policy incorrect. They charged me $50 for my motorcycle, for my Ninja. They initially tried charging me $160 for my motorcycle. And I was very confused, but I just said to fucking insure it. I'm switching, because the car premiums were the same, so I said insure it, whatever. Turns out that the girl was just a dumbass. She fucked up a bunch of shit. So she put a bunch of car accidents that weren't my fault, and my ticket that was dropped as my fault. So after I called back, another nicer lady resolved it, and I went down to $37 a month. A little bit less coverage than what they gave me, but the motorcycle's paid off now that I'm with Progressive, so I don't have a lien or anything or a loan on it. So for me, again, Progressive's a better option. I drive a little bit more normal now, but again, in the next video, I'm going to teach you guys how to get a great score on Progressive. But yeah, choose whatever one works with you. I don't usually see people make a video on 2 of these or which one's better and actually run them for a while. I have ran them for a while. I can say what I think about both of them. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks, guys.